In today's video, we're going to talk about one simple trick to make your workout better.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com coming to you on Friday morning, and it's going to be an exciting weekend. I got a lot of good stuff going on. My man Stephen Beaugrand, that's right, my coach Stephen Beaugrand is doing a powerlifting meet tomorrow in Clearwater, Florida, so I will be there to support him. Go Team Pro Physique. And we're really ramping up for this bodybuilding show. If you guys are interested in coming to an awesome event, the OCB Florida West Coast Classic. It's going to be on November 11th here at the University of South Florida. Here we got some, I don't know, these aren't even the overalls. Wait till you see the overalls. We got some really unique stuff for those. I'm a big trophy believer. I'm not a sword and shield guy. I like Game of Thrones and all, but I don't need an armory at my house before a show. Anywho, today's topic is all about how to make your workouts a little bit more interesting when things are getting a little stale and you want to change it up. And it all came because yesterday when I got to the gym, it's one of those days when every single piece of equipment that I wanted to use was being used. So instead of waiting around for 20 minutes while Sally the texter was on my machine, I thought, I'm gonna do my workout in reverse. Now, very basic concept. Usually when I train, I pick heavy compounds to start the workout with, right? So let's say it's a lower body day like yesterday was, I will start with a leg press, I will start with a deadlift, I might even start with like a goblet squat, something that kind of gets the whole body involved. And then as I fatigue, I will then move to kind of single body part accessory stuff, such as the leg curl, the leg extension. I really love hyper extensions. I actually really like single leg split squats. Those are one of my favorites right now. You know, so like as you fatigue, you kind of isolate a little bit more. It's good in theory and it works great. I always find that I'm able to kind of test my strength for that workout with those first couple sets. You know, I always have the previous workouts in my head of how many reps, how many sets I did, and I kind of always try to push through that, you know, progressive overload as it were. However, some days you don't have as much time, right? And you need to figure out a way to get your quality workout in. So what I did yesterday, while the machines and the compound stuff was all being used, I reversed it, right? I said, I'm gonna do the workout in reverse. And lo and behold, I had a fantastic workout. So basically, this is another like term that's called pre-exhausting. Some people you'll see they kind of pre-exhaust the muscle before they train it. And let's talk about why we would do that and what the benefits are. But first I'll tell you how I did it. What I did was I went over to the leg extension, which is where I usually like to end my leg days. Leg extension, leg curl, some calves maybe. And that's because you can kind of take a deep breath. You know, compound movements can really wear you out. You can't catch your breath, you feel fatigued. So at the end of the workout, you can kind of sit there and do some quads and really focus on getting a good squeeze. And I think the leg extension gets a bad rap, one of my favorite quad builders. You know, maybe it's my leverages, but I just don't get a lot of quad activation out of things like squats and leg press. I get a lot more of it out of leg extensions. So what I did was I started with some crazy high rep sets. I started with like, you know, 50, 60 rep sets on leg extensions and, you know, maybe 30, 40 on leg curls. My hamstrings always burn a little earlier than my quads. And then I would increase the weight and reduce the reps a little bit until I got to kind of like a final drop set. And then I moved on to what I would typically do before that on my lower body days. And so I did like some hyper extensions and then some split squats. And then I worked my way into the deadlifts and into the leg press. Now, what would the benefit be of this? Well, I was able to change up my tempo. So usually when I get to those movements, I'm a lot more fatigued and I can't use as much weight and I have to rest a little longer. So I was able to A, use a little bit more weight, and B, increase my tempo. The nice thing was when I got to the leg press and I got to the deadlift, I did not have to use as much weight to get the same effect. Muscle fiber types get recruited in a certain fashion. So what we want to see when we work out with a leg press and a deadlift at the end of a workout, or if it's for you a squat or a hack squat, is focusing on making sure you're engaging the muscles, and you don't have to use as much weight to do that, right? Because you're already fatigued and you want to ensure that you do things safe and get a good pump and you're doing things right. So it was nice to not have the stress in my head of putting 400 or 500 pounds on a deadlift bar. I actually only needed to use 225 pounds and they felt great, right? I felt the movement all throughout my body. I was able to really focus on staying tight and ensuring my safety. Same thing with the leg press. Couldn't use as much weight as I usually use, but I really focused on the eccentric portion of the movement, keeping the stress on my legs, my quads, and pushing with as much force as I could while using that high quality form. And it felt great. And here's the great thing. I woke up today with like a nice soreness, you know, like that DOM feeling, that stiffness in your muscles. And even walking out of the gym, I had a different feeling than I've had in a while. Now, what does this mean? Well, what it means to me is I enjoyed my workout. I enjoyed changing things up. The second I started the workout and flipped my mind from, hey, those damn people are on my machines. Well, guess what? They're not my machines. It's not my gym. I don't own the equipment. And so it's a mindset thing. You can kind of let someone ruin your day if you think that, you know what, today's just not my day to have a good workout. Instead, I flipped it around. I said, no, I'm gonna have a great workout. I'm just gonna change things up. And another thing it forced me to do was, because by the time I got to my leg press, it was in use still, I used a different one. And lo and behold, I found something that I liked better. It had a different movement plane and I liked it better. So it forced me to kind of adapt and try some other things out. So if your gym has a lot of equipment and you only ever use the same things over and over, this can be another great way to kind of kickstart some progress in the gym, because no matter how great your workout is, no matter how perfect your workout plan is, if you get bored of it, you start going through the motions, you're not gonna see as much progress, you're not gonna look forward to the workouts as much, and over time, that can lead to less volume, less strength progression, less enjoyment, and the journey just kind of stalls. So as someone who's been in the gym for 23 years, I'm always thinking of these things. Now, this might not be a new idea to you, working out in reverse, but there was a point in my life where I followed workouts to the T. And, you know, I've heard of this workout in reverse idea before. And depending on what kind of training program you're doing, maybe you can't do that. If you're a power lifter and you need to focus on, you know, hitting your percentages and hitting your training totals for your meet, this isn't gonna work. This is more for those of us who come to the gym with a bodybuilding goal in mind, hypertrophy in mind, and just need a little switch things up. So take your first exercise, make it your last. Take your last exercise, make it your first. One simple trick to enjoy your workout. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. This is Paul from ProPhysique.com. I gotta get to work. It's an exciting weekend. Lots of big competitions coming up. I've been writing peak week plans. Man, we are just going to have, you guys are in for a treat. My man Chad Nutter is coming with me to Cape Cod next weekend. And yeah, you guys are in for a treat. I'm just gonna leave you there, a little teaser of what's to come. And don't even get me started about nationals. Don't even get me started about the Yorton Cup. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All by myself.